I always tell people, that me ya Caribbean and come dream aware me oba after 35.
What are you saying? That you will not consider marriage before 35? Really?
Me bema me dream aware after 40.
But today we want to talk about marriages and women, right? Women really? Oh.
Generally. Honestly, this is a very general conversation.
Yeah.
Because I was even speaking with someone yesterday.
Nowadays, the men know their rights, so because
How do the men know their rights?
hey, I've heard all the rights they be account, they know them because didn't you see the trend on Twitter where they were mocking women for how they talk?
Right.
He didn't send me money for my. He said she didn't send me money for my hair when I was going to do baba my hair, so the date is cancelled. And I was like, hey,
that was an interesting.
I liked it.
It was interesting. Interesting to a large extent because some people took it way out of context and they were.
When I saw the first,
the first few ones,
I was done.
The way it started, they were like, okay, from a different perspective, it's funny some of the things some
I
people
get it,
post, but like some guys are just taking it, they were just out of pocket, way out of context.
Like, almost say I don't know. And
exactly,
I saw it coming. I was like, oh, this is not what I like.
Yeah, people don't have. I feel like these trends give room to some incels and like men who have
a lot of people
better things to say. Yeah, just in bad faith. Or just a fun, quirky thing, satirical, right?
Exactly. Yeah.
No, you've taken this World Cup. You're saying things that don't make sense.
Someone was like, oh, stop. Rape.
Yeah, it's not like stop raping us. I'm like, are you out?
I was like, wait, is this supposed to be funny? Like, I didn't
know, there's always a very dull tool in the shed. Definitely not the sharpest. Because what do you mean? The joke is going in that direction. You know what I mean? So the best one that's understands the trend. What then you've come to.
And you could tell because a lot of the men were quoting that tweet. Well, what say I didn't cry?
Exactly. Like you just sucked all the fun out. Yeah.
Yeah.
It
was funny, and then it just when I saw that first stupid joke, I was like, yeah, wrap it up.
But really, everybody's getting married. I was telling my friend, like, hey, Charlie, but it's obvious, it was about yesterday, you were a baby, today, no, you're going to marry. What do you think you're going to do? You know, yesterday, no.
That's so soon.
You're growing. Before you know it, to become somebody's mom. What do you mean?
Or a man with children.
And it's such a great awakening. Like, what do you mean? My friend of barely 3-4 years ago that we're just vibing, we're just teenagers, right? Young adults.
Duties now.
Now they've got, and that just is a rude awakening. It just gives you like, you have brain, your mates are getting married. So now you are more of an adult. You know when you're a teenager, early 20s,
you can be like,
adult,
just a girl.
But now, what's your excuse? Like your mates are literally running their own homes.
Yeah.
And when I say mates, I'm not talking about just girls. Your mates.
Yeah.
Both your your women and men friends or guy friends are all getting married.
Yeah.
One
of my good friends, he's married with a child now. And like I see him in the marriage setting and it's like, this is amazing. I mean, he's still the same person, but you can still, the changes.
Another side of them, like,
and there are certain things you almost can't talk about sometimes
anymore.
Certain things that there's no relatability here
anymore. Yeah.
There's an extent to which you also maybe feel like you might be. There's not as much space for you, and it's not in a selfish way, but it's like you recognize exactly, like where to.
True.
Yeah,
and I think that's what I'm saying. Like it's just an awakening that life is changing, people are changing. Like you need to make room and hold space for these people because now they have more responsibilities compared to when you guys were just living for yourselves, to an extent. Now they have like other things, but really, everybody's getting married. Or like, we're in April, right?
Yeah,
between January and March alone.
Yeah,
the number of weddings. Oh my
goodness.
Oh my day. Like, hey, first of all, where you going to find the marriage money? I always say this thing: where you could finding the money to get married? Bring it. Let me use it for capital. I beg, because hey. Yo,
these independent women.
It's not even about independence. It's just, bro, weddings are expensive these days. It's why I say these things. Like, I always make that joke. I tell my friends.
Do you do wedding photography?
I tell my friends. No, I tell my friends that are getting married, like, hey, Charlie, where do they find the money? Because before you know it, you spend 50K. And that's like a simple 50, 60K. That's a simple wedding.
That's a trust.
So the people doing the grand weddings, like how much are they spending, right? It's why I make this joke like, hey, Charlie, bring 50K business capital. I feel double and they'll give you your marriage money.
Yeah.
Because that is
people go for
wild.
Loans for their weddings.
I literally been asked a loan before. Somebody has asked me for a loan for wedding preparations. And I'm like, is it that bad? Yeah, I get it. People fall on hard time, but I feel that it's a personal philosophy. Don't shoot. That's if you are ready to enter marriage, it means you have your. I mean, you can't be 100% sorted or like have things figured out, but like you shouldn't be doing some things.
Yeah, maybe I don't.
If you have to be taking a loan for some things,
You know,
maybe you should calm down.
It's
It's
also
not time to
the
marry yet.
bridesmaids thing, where they make you bridesmaids. So
Hey.
they create this financial responsibility for you, where you're going to wear this type of dress. You're buying it yourself.
This is a trending conversation on Twitter at the moment.
Bro,
It came up just recently. A girl was saying her friend told her she's getting married barely a month away from the wedding. How is she supposed to prepare? I'm like, only for her to explain that, oh, she's also supposed to be a bridesmaid. I'm like, yeah, I get it, because it comes with a lot of financial responsibilities. A lot of times, there are people's weddings who they wouldn't expect you to commit financially when it comes to, because they will provide you your dress, your shoes. My friends, when she gave me the shoes, I didn't need to do anything, right? They would provide the makeup and accessories and stuff like that. But being a bridesmaid means you're going to sacrifice one way or the other.
yeah.
And so, yes, if people are getting married, yes, they are getting married, but like, if you get involved, now the person's close to you, your friends are getting married,
Yeah.
and you're supposed to be a bridesmaid or a groomsman, that affects you as well, because now you're getting. Why do you do that 3 times a year? How much money you're going to spend?
Yeah, I remember that happened to me. I think it was one of my cousins that was getting married, and she was making us, like her sisters, the brides. And I was very happy too, because she was like the first, in our line of cousins.
Right.
The first one that was like getting married, and it was exciting. But she was like, okay, bridesmaid. I was like, cool. And then she was like, yeah, so the garment is this price.
That was gonna be a walk in the park.
And then, you know what? I was like, fine, I'll pay for it and whatever. And I did pay for it actually. And I was happy and unhappy, because like around the wedding, we had exam. So I was like, it was in Kumasi. So I was like, oh, I can't go. So I couldn't go.
No way.
couldn't go.
Me, I'll go over.
I really wanted to, but we had like exam on Monday.
And
the
so
wedding
that
was on
means too much.
Sunday.
Oh,
Yeah, I couldn't do it.
right. You guys do weddings on Sunday?
Yeah.
That's
We get
interesting.
married on Sundays.
Oh, that's nice. I had no idea. I had no idea.
And it's not like just Sunday. Sometimes it start on Friday, party on
Like
Friday.
a wedding party, yeah.
Hey, Charlie, it's not easy.
You go to
And
chill.
that's
Yeah, it's a lot.
And like, some people's parents also invest in their wedding plannings,
Yeah.
right? And so sometimes you see some of these very big weddings, and it's like their parents help them.
So there's a thing, I think it's part of some cultural expectation, that the bride's family would cater to the organization of the wedding, because it's done ideally to be done in the man's house and stuff like that. So so really, they should be investing in it, since it's a thing of, honestly, this is a thing of great joy for them, because marriage seems to be a big deal.
It's like their final. It's like their final rite of passage for like
the
parents,
crowning
right?
moment of their lives.
Yeah,
their
before
kids getting married,
before childbirth. So the before they get
right.
It's the thing. So it's get married, and then that's like a bucket list, like a tick box,
and they can go and brag to their friends.
Exactly. And then it's a bragging right. It's a status thing.
It is. And that brings my mind to the part of this conversation where you're treated differently because you're married. Like, I've been in offices where people who are married are accorded a certain respect and are deemed responsible because, hey, now you have a family, so you are more responsible.
Even in
there are certain roles you cannot even occupy. Some roles in companies where you just cannot have it when you're a single man. You need to be like
especially for
mature and married to an extent. Especially for
men.
Yeah, for men, it's a prestige thing. So
yeah. You have to realize when sometimes a man is marrying you for status. It's a come up thing.
But how do you realize? That one is like a deep.
I think sometimes you can gauge, like, if you've got do you understand? Like, if a man is marrying you because this is going to help me, or this, like, because I've been in situations where the person would keep like repeating, Charlie, I have to get married, and it feels like,
but there's like a deadline.
Exactly, it feels like, oh, I'm old enough. Let me just, do you understand?
Right.
And it's not really a status thing for them, I don't think, but it really felt like this is the next thing I should do. And so whoever it is, and that they say it's
the
like
next available person.
Exactly, like a man will marry whoever it is when he's ready. He will just marry whoever it is.
Interesting. And that's what I'm saying. I mean, so there was another conversation. I like that social media becomes a great reference point, because I feel like that's where people go to pour a lot of their concerns, because the topic of marriage itself is not openly discussed enough, I think. Right? To a certain extent, the realities of it.
Especially from the perspective of women.
True. Right? Where people are talking about in their friend groups, right? When you are married, or you're the unmarried person in the friend group, sometimes you can't talk about certain things. So some certain people marry in the friend groups and then they are no longer your friend again.
Yeah, there's that.
Suddenly
yeah,
they're like they are wiser than you. It's like the marriage unlocks a certain level of wisdom that they cannot be dealing with you, the single blokes. Like, what do you
Yeah,
mean?
and some people are saying, oh, they and their husbands sometimes even talk shit about you. Like,
That's-
they low-key start to look down on you. You, the single one.
Why is that the case? Yeah, I get it. That said, you are exposed to certain realities, certain responsibilities. Your worldview becomes a little broader because now there are certain things you are faced with,
Yeah.
really. But is it about why can't you be friends and be like friends with your single friends? Why can't you stay friends with your single friends? Really, repetition, but like, why can't you stay friends with them when you're married? Because I've heard people say their partners have discouraged them from staying friends with single friends. And they'll give you bad advice because they've never been married and what. So that mentality makes certain people feel more elevated when they get married. I've seen people talk down on their friends who are not married before. That's
my pass it.
Yeah,
Like they're married, so they've passed.
Oh, yo.
It's like a test, a societal test that
Right.
they've passed.
Mm.
But you're failing.
But what's
you're
the big
lagging.
deal, though?
What is not the big deal? Because throughout media, tradition, religion, wherever,
Marriage is a reward.
Charlie, the marriage propaganda is everywhere. You have to like, you gotta. It's a thing you have to do. It's in everything. It's in the songs. It's in the movies. It's a part of like, it's an achievement.
Got it. I mean, I feel like it's a rite of passage. Honest. Got it. Like, and depending on your religion, it becomes an even bigger thing, right?
Mhm.
And I'm saying this from a very general point of view. I'm a Christian. I know what marriage is, an instruction from God and all that.
Yeah.
However, the point
Instruction, yeah.
you're supposed to marry, go and want to feel the land in Genesis.
You
it was
can
an
do it
instruction.
through fornication, except that one too.
Come on, swear. It won't be.
Except that one too is what's it? It's against the commandments.
Yeah, exactly, right. But my point is, if you have not done that yet or ticked that box of getting married and everything, what's the big deal? Like, you don't get what I mean.
You don't think it's a big deal,
personally.
Exactly, but to society it is.
And that's the pressure that leads people into wrong marriages. Because we've seen one too many bad marriages where people have been forced into it that it's time to get married. So they wait for the next, like you said, whoever is ready. The first person, you don't analyze and then you are entering the marriage and stuff like that. And I'm not even saying this thing from I'm talking crap about marriage. Marriage is lovely. I've seen great marriages that I aspire to have. I want to be like I want to be in such marriages, right? I want my marriage to replicate the great marriages I've seen in this life. However, the point is, in an attempt to beat society's deadline or meet the deadline, or even the pressure that comes after you've not met the deadline, and you're like, Charlie, somebody should come and let's get married so that they'll stop talking about me. Or you come from a home where suddenly everybody's expecting that you are 28, so you're married.
Yeah.
People settle for just anyone. Forgetting it's a lifetime commitment, right? And then you can't become a therapist to your friend who has gone to enter a bad marriage because it's one problem after the other. And it's usually the simplest of things. Like,
how are you having issues with this, right?
Right? Because you didn't deal with the fundamentals.
I don't like that kind of thing. And I've realized, I guess in my dating experience, I realized that the youngest person I dated was the most emotionally mature person I dated. And this is someone that was significantly older than me. But we were having communication issues that was breaking my brain. Because to me, this is very simple.
However, you see, I have the same problem. There's something called, I read about it, it's called the mirror fallacy, where you think the way you see the world and certain belief you have is general, like it's common to everybody. So it's such a fallacy that your beliefs are mirrored in the world.
Yeah,
it's really not that simple. It's
hard to be.
No. Like, just speak up. The way you're saying just speak up, bro, it takes a lot of. There's this footballer's There's this meme of a footballer who was supposed to write his name on a camera screen. Like, there was a glass on the lens and he was supposed to write it. He was supposed to draw a smiley emoji. And the guy was just. It was racking his brain.
Yeah.
Do you know how simple it is to draw an emoji, right? A smiley. But that's how it is to certain people. Like, just open your mouth and say, you don't like this, or I like this better, or let's do this better, offended me. It's such a big deal for people.
And like, it's fundamental to the marriage though.
However, when the clock is ticking, the figurative clock is ticking,
you don't think that hard.
You don't take time to deal with these issues because once you have the ring,
No wedding ring, no wedding ring.
I can wave it. See, even the song they said that I can wave and talk and talk and talk and talk about it. That is what is this for a lot of people. They want to
Thing that I don't
it's like
about
proving
the
a
song.
point. No, like I'm saying, marriage is great too. But I think that people are getting married for all the wrong reasons. I've seen someone who said, "Hey, me my wedding, Charlie, it has to trend on Instagram." I'm like, okay. Social media contributes to a lot of this narrative.
Yeah, and oh my goodness, there's this thing. I think they call it the wedding epidemic or something. That like people are getting married and getting into relationships because it's now a sort of genre in content making.
Right.
And so we are doing the proposals. We are
Right.
taking
Content.
because like I see some
And
of
it's the same kind of
and it
proposals
took
everywhere.
years.
It's the same kind of proposals.
Yeah,
It's
an
generic, like a
hour of
template. It's either you are kneeling down in front of balloons with the
flowers,
oh my days.
petals all over.
You guys,
And then they have the 360 camera going
like,
around.
oh my, it's just everything is so generic these days. And I'm saying people are just falling into a cycle of replicating what's
Looks cool.
proposed as the ideal way of doing things, right?
Yeah.
Because like who says you need to create content for your wedding day? Like, do you really need to be creating content? I know my mother's wedding, she wasn't creating content. Like all the weddings I was going to before I got to this age. Yeah, in this age, social media and everything, but like people are so hyper focused on some things that they lose the real essence of these things.
Yeah.
Such that you are going broke trying to get content creators for your wedding. That's now the essence of the wedding itself is being lost. You go to a wedding, you can't even see the bride and groom because everybody wants to be a content creator. There are lots of content creators blocking, obstructing your view.
If people have cameras in my face, I will destroy your phone. Like, do not. Like, I don't know. You guys need to learn to keep the sanctity of certain things.
I think we've done a lot of bashing on marriage here. My own is who is benefiting from marriage, right? What are the benefits? I'm not okay. It's not just like a one-sided. Oh, men are benefiting, women are benefiting. But generally, if you were to get married today, what benefits would it accord you? Personally, I know that when I get married to, one of the biggest things is financial benefits. Not about marrying up or man providing for you. I'm talking about
the sharing
you don't bear the load. I think those are like the great benefits I think marriage bring. Like, oh, instead of footing certain bills, like what's the point? Both of you live in single houses. When you come together, you pay one bill. And so you save more money. It makes more sense. Like that financial benefits makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
And people say emotional benefit, but that one too, to an extent, large extent. But
absolutely. If the emotional aspect of it is actually being taken care of, right, and you're getting, if this is somebody that knows how to take care of your emotions, right? Because I really think that some people get into relationships or marriages, and they may be very accomplished financially, career wise, but their capacity in terms of how they can take care of their partner's emotions or accommodate those emotions or even their own emotions, it's so limited.
I hear people say marriage will fix their emotional problems. Like, oh, I'm so lonely, I need a life partner who I can be whatever with. It doesn't really fix it per se. But that's like, you need to hear the thing. I've seen, and I've had a therapist even tell me, you need to fix largely your emotional whatever. You need to find a way around your emotional needs and problems so that you can be on your own, independently happy on your own. You can rely on yourself to wade through and figure out your emotional dilemma. Your partner is not a solution to your emotional problem. You're depressed, so your partner should be a plan. What do you mean?
Exactly.
People need to work on a lot of things personally before they start considering marriage. Because really, first of all, how do you even know you want to get married? You are ready for marriage. Is there a way to tell you are ready for marriage, or is it just vibes, or you meet the right person, you know that I'm ready to get married? Me personally, I think that one of the biggest factors that can affect marriage is finances. Not on anybody's side, but like both ways. Do you know how quickly marriages break down because of financial crisis? Yeah. Suddenly, the person you were loving is pissing you off because where the money at? You don't have money to feed in the house because one person has lost the job, the second person's business is failing, and then there's just confusion. And I feel that people talk about finances not as a gold digging thing, but like really, it's a fundamental thing to have. Like, what are you going to eat when you wake up?
In Trump's economy, what are you like? I don't even like finances is part of it for me, right? Like, I've
heard older people say So like somebody told me, oh Seraphine, when are you going to get married? Get married. Like, oh mommy, I'm still very young, but I am. When it's time, I will. And also, I think marriage is a big deal and needs a lot of preparation. So I'm waiting. I want to like be financially set up to a certain extent while working on myself. I gave a very textbook answer, really. And she was like, my daughter, it's true, but don't wait till you can't have it all before you finally get married because God provides when you enter the marriage. I'm like, that's like I really was, I was at a loss for words, but really, yes, it's a great perspective, especially as a Christian, God will definitely provide. However, yeah, you can't be blindly doing God will provide and entering the marriage and you don't have a financial plan. You don't have a financial strategy. You don't even have finances saved up or investment towards that. You don't have a fund for marriage. What are you going to do in the marriage? Like, suddenly you get married and something funny will happen. And life has a crazy sense of humor. You get married and suddenly you lose your job. It's just a funny thing that happens something. Or you get married and within your first year, for some reason, we don't know why you're pregnant. I don't even know how it happened. I'm pregnant. Suddenly you get pregnant unknowingly, right? And there's a baby. Now there's even more pressure. Right? So I think that people like to consider a lot of things that, your partner's availability, which is great in things. But I think that one of the biggest things that people do not consider, aside availability and who are you going to marry, is money and emotional like maturity and stability.
Be a gold digger.
Be
a gold digger.
As in dig gold for yourself, or when dig someone's gold.
No, I didn't say do galamteo. I'm not saying.
No, I don't mean literally, but like gold digger means taking someone else's money. But I mean that.
No, but
have money.
Yeah, but the thing is, you know what you're talking about like being realistic about finances. As a woman, that you have, for example, this Aronak thing with the woman and the money and all that. This whole gold digger narrative that they are painting for her. It's like when you pay attention, it's like it's realistic because why would I not? I have children for these men, for this man. I had children with him. I'm taking care of these children. I'm sure she's like going to be the one to actually take care of and raise the children after the divorce. And there's also the fact that she, built these businesses with him. But then just because she's asking for what she deserves, there's a gold digger narrative.
So
my point is, as a woman, if you know your money, you're a gold digger. You don't even have to be somebody looking for.
So you're redefining gold digger.
Exactly. So I'm saying be a gold digger.
Right.
Because there's a level of shame that people are like, there's a level of shame that is applied to a woman that is like ambitious and wants money. And if you are introducing money into the conversation with
and that kind of ambition is different from, I'm looking for a Prince Charming with millions of dollars to come and marry me.
No, but
that's a different conversation.
You do have to have money to be married.
Generally, that's what I'm saying, right? But I'm saying that this puts it in better perspective than just, I'm not going to do anything. Wait for some man to come and marry me because he has money. Bro, you will see things like your eyes.
You guys are the type that get stuck in these marriages. And the man will be showing you share gay. They will show you share gay. You say, my condo, baby. You tell you condo dang. You don't even have the right to condo because you don't have money.
Speaking of that, I've had conversations. And when I talk about these married things, people think, you are criticizing bro, I want to get married. Hello. But the point is, you need to understand what you're entering, right? Do your research. Like when you're starting a business, what is the market research and things? Like talk to people. Yeah, somebody's experience will definitely not reflect what your experience is going to be, but it gives you key learning points. It gives you data that you can analyze to make key decisions, right? It gives you things you can learn from and improve on when you are starting your venture, which is entering your marriage. So I have done a lot of speaking to older people and they tell you things about entering marriage and how unprepared they were in certain aspects. And I think that's what a lot of people should be doing. Speak to the older people. A lot of them, no, not a lot because I don't know the data, but like some of them might not be honest with you because you need to go and do it. They were not honest with themselves. They've not accepted the reality that it's not working out the way they wanted it to be. However, there's also a ton of them who will also be realistic with you and tell you what is on the ground. They'll tell you what to look out for, what you should expect, why you shouldn't rush into it, or why you should start early. Like the advice is going to be so many, but it's time for you to sit through it. Watching social media or watching podcasts people talk about it is one thing. But go on the ground, bro. Your grandma, where else you watching?
Do your survey. What's your say? Go and sit with women. There are even people suggesting some of these shows be like women, older women and like younger women actually like talking about these life experiences so that they can learn from them. I think that marriage, it's a decision, right?
Yeah.
But it needs to be an informed decision.
True.
Like, you need to know what the heck you're getting yourself into. Because there's just something about, I guess, even the picture of like a wonderful, exciting wedding, a joyous one.
I think the wedding is where people's imagination of marriage enters.
Exactly.
Like people
There's
think,
too
oh,
much
I
of
want
the
to get
wedding involved
married,
in how you
and
picture
then wear a
marriage.
ring, and then my husband lifts me in the air, and then okay, now after that, what next? People
When the
don't think
lights
past that
die
point.
down, when the room goes dark, when it's just you and him, what does it mean for your life and for his life? Because I think even some people, you guys don't consider what it actually means to fall. You guys, even technically, if medimento about this is how complicated is that going to be? Like how in sync we have to be in order for the 9th year to be successful. Think about it that way. And so it's really not that easy. I've even noticed a bit of a trend of people who got married maybe like 3 years ago getting divorced. Now say and no shade, there was a YouTuber, her name is Ilogo. Her YouTube channel is called Eloho or something. And she got married like 4 years ago, I think. And she just came and she said she's divorced. And she was explaining why she was divorced because the man apparently became abusive or something. And the reason why she was able to leave is because she already had a life before him.
Financial independence. See,
do you understand?
We cannot talk about financial independence. When we are talking about how many, I'm sure it's rubbing off in someone's head as, hey, it's the same old conversation.
My mom will be like, oh,
no, don't have your money and see. See, as a woman especially, and I'm saying this because I can only speak from my perspective, like I'm a woman, but the point is, as a woman, financial independence can never be understated for you.
At all.
Like there's only so much power you have first of all in the world. So having some money to your name, having investments to your name, having things going on for yourself is like one of the strongest things you can have going on. It's like one of the biggest boss moves you can do.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not such that you're using it as a way of disrespecting the people around you, people general, right? But like
money,
having your own,
it will save you.
Having your own will save you because there are people stuck in abusive marriages. I've seen several interviews. There are people who you talk to in real life and they make what am I going to do? You don't have anything. You don't know what to do. Yeah, exactly. Because you entered that marriage dependent on a man. And please go to school, get a degree, start a business, like do something really. Just have something going on for yourself because the person who tells you stop your business, stop your career, don't go to school, I'll marry you and take care of you.
Hey!
They're lying.
I'm sorry, but the moment
a man
was stop. The moment a man was stop. And he's talking about school or business, leave him.
I think that there's something you need to have for yourself. Like always have something before you enter a marriage. Like start an investment. Like so when you're single, what are you doing with your life? Like, are you waiting for a Prince Charming? Or are you a Prince Charming waiting for a princess to come and sweep you off your feet?
They don't exist. Now, Prince Charming, and their standards have gotten higher.
Do you understand?
They're also looking for career
what I'm saying. People sit and are moping. We talk about society pressure, right? People are saying and they are moping, waiting. Hey, when will I get married? I want a ring. I will want a ring. I will want a ring, or whatever. Right? So when you are waiting for the ring, you are so desperately waiting for. What are you doing?
Yeah.
Right? I think one of the things people do not do is prepare themselves for such things. Generally, like people do not prepare themselves for the things they so much long for.
Yeah.
They don't prepare themselves. You want to get married. You're not working your emotional regulation. I mean, you want kids. You don't know how to control your emotions. Baby, I know what to papa. So you have like emotional control. What is emotional intelligence? You don't know how to communicate.
Treatment.
Right? Hygiene, personal hygiene, cooking. Go for cooking classes. Things that will definitely benefit your life and the family you want in the future. Do you understand?
What's Chef Abby?
Do you understand? Learn a skill.
Yes.
Get hobbies because even after you enter that marriage, it's not going to be all about your partner and your kids. Like you still have a whole life ahead of you.
Yes.
So I feel that when you are single, this is the time for you to invest in yourself.
Child raising is boring.
And demanding.
Yes.
And
it's very boring. Have you ever babysat before? It's so repetitive. Like it's either you're making baby faces, baby noises.
It's not boring.
I think it's
demanding. Almost.
It is demanding, but it's like there's, especially maybe if you're a stay-at-home mom or something, you don't have anything to do. You're just taking care of a baby. The baby will sleep. The baby will do that. What will you be doing?
Right.
Exactly. It's repetitive to it.
It's why skills coming.
Exactly. There's no challenge of oneself. You're raising a child, but how is that raising you? What part of it raises you?
Yeah.
Do you understand? So you have to introduce...
I just think people should aspire for more. Like, actually, marriage is great and fantastic and all, but like, aspire for more.
And I also think it's okay if it doesn't work. And the whole preparation before it is a preparation after it, in case there's an after it. I really think that for a lot of people that prepare before marriage properly, they are the people who go on to have a successful life after marriage or don't end up getting stuck in it, right? And so sometimes you really have to forgive yourself for a marriage that didn't work, especially if you spent your whole life aspiring to it. Now, we are not saying you might actually make all the good decisions
And things
meet somebody that you think was right and it just does not work out. And that is okay. And it's okay. It's important for you to leave when you have to. You know, we'll talk about the divorce aspect of marriage. We don't know about these things, but maybe for me, coming from a broken home, I've seen the realities of the after of marriage that I really think people don't factor when they're going into the marriage.
And you know what? I think for the next episode, we're going to bring a marriage counselor.
Yes.
Or somebody who has...
Not literal.
We're bringing a marriage counselor, right? To have very informed conversations.
Thank you.
Because these are opinions and experiences we've had around marriage, are genuine perspectives and experiences, right? Exactly. So like we brought doctor, we're going to bring another doctor, Roger, another counselor who can speak on these things. Because everybody is getting married. But like, does that mean you should be gunning for marriage at this point? Bro, you're 22, you're feeling pressure to get... Where are you going to? Like, you're 22, you're crying that your mates are getting married. My dear, if you don't go and look for some who can read, if you don't go and look for some masters to do, if you don't go and look for a business and stuff, where are you rushing to?
Nana McBrown said she doesn't think people should get married in their 20s, and I agree.
Your frontal lobe is still developing. Like, the things I do now in my 20s blow my mind. I couldn't imagine myself that there's some things I wouldn't overreact to now compared to when I was younger. So imagine gets married, that grows this early, and the growth is happening while you are with somebody. And the decisions they made will be based on what they met while you were still developing. And they can't forgive you because they genuinely dealt with it. Those are their genuine experiences. So the person said, oh, you were very abrasive and brash when you're... And you're like, oh, you were still learning. Yes, indeed, you're still learning, but that's their genuine experience. So you can't like dismiss of it or dismisses, right? So yes, Charlie, pressure day, but pressure don't really be like that. There's no...
Charlie, this life,
welcome.
You have to, when you cry, just rebel.
But really, Charlie, if you have marriage, wedding money, bring out some nice business ideas.
Some business ideas.
By the time you're ready to get married, you would have doubled that money.
Exactly.
You understand?
So you have a bigger wedding.
I have a lot of business ideas. So
trust fund for your baby.
My name is the Seraphine. If you have the Seraphine, if you have idea, you know. Really, Charlie. Really. See,
this is what they call shameless plug. This is the kind of
hear me out. I've been ranting about the fact that they are building a lot of shopping malls on the Fentex Road. Even Dowenya, they've built a new China mall. They're like, what is it with malls? I have really lucrative business ideas, right? So if you have wedding money like 70K, 100K that you want to use to calm down. 3 years. Wait for like 5 years. Let's start a business. You'll see something.
Business is 247.
Really.
Thank you so much for Vidan. Any final words?
Final words. There's no pressure, right? Take your time. Marriage will happen. If it doesn't,
it's fine.
Okay.
You know, that's also something you gotta think.
Yeah, really. Because
statistically, you actually might not get married. There are more women than men. That's why some of them, they get all these side chicks. You might actually not get married. What if you end up a side chick, babe? You gotta consider all these things.
Really.
So like,
and sometimes the desperation blinds you, the pressure blinds you.
It really does.
So chill down, breathe out. It's really not that deep, bro. Like, calm down. Look for some money. Money will never... Hey, money
won't cheat on you.
Invest, right? Start a business, learn a skill, travel if you have to. Be exposed to some, like, exposure.
Charlie, there's more to life. Hey,
expose yourself. It even affects your choice in partnership. Because if you've not been exposed to different things in this life, you have a limited worldview.
I really realized after dating a number of people, I was like, wait, I learned so much. And I think this has shaped who I am now.
Invest. And so you don't necessarily even have to date people to have some of these experiences or learn. No?
Yeah.
Explore friendships. Join run clubs. Go and learn a hobby. If you go to a pottery club, the people you meet there, they become other people you interact with and pick up life lessons. Like, just expand your worldview. Open your life. Like, don't be stuck in your corner and like, hey, my husband will come, my husband. Then you've not had any experience. Or my wife will come. Explore. Go places. Be exposed to people. Open your mind, your worldview, your view. Bruh.
Chale, abaya,
Deuces,
yakasa,
deuces, deuces.